Battle of the mid-range smartphones. The HTC U11 Eyes versus the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. After my intro. Welcome everyone, I'm Zilla. I'm back again with another video, and today we got a battle of a couple of mid-range smartphone titans. In one corner we have the HTC U11 Eyes, and in the opposing corner in the blue trunks we have the Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Both are very similar in price and both look absolutely stunning. They've both got glass backs to them which dance as you move them in the light. Both have an aluminium anodized frame running around between the two glass panels on each, and both have a beautiful flagship feel to them. They're both very similar in height, very similar in width, very similar in weight as well. There is one noticeable difference. The U11 Eyes is a little bit thicker and you can feel that extra thickness, and it has a more rounded back to it. So this one I think comes down to personal preference. I like both. It's a toss-up for me. Which one do you like the look of more? Let me know in the comments below. One of the big things people look for when it comes to mid-range devices is battery. Battery is king amongst mid-range device phones. Now, both of these phones are no slouch. The Mate 20 Lite has a very good quality 3750 mAh battery, whereas the U11 Eyes has a 3930 mAh battery. Now, before I did any testing on them, I assumed the U11 Eyes would walk this one, but strangely enough it didn't, and it's probably got to go down to the optimization used in Huawei's new Kirin 710 chipset, because I eat around about a quarter of a day more out of my Mate 20 Lite as opposed to the U11 Eyes. So that was a win for the Huawei device right there. Are you shocked by this? I'm not, because Huawei have really been working on their optimization. And plus the chipset in the U11 Eyes, and this is a strange one, it's a Snapdragon 652 chipset. You heard me right, I said 652. This phone came out this year and HTC decided to use a chipset in it that's over 2 years old. That is nuts. No wonder it was a walk in the park for the Huawei Mate 20 Lite when it comes down to battery. It won it quite clearly and concisively. Also, another factor when it comes down to battery is the screens. Now let's discuss the screens right now. The U11 Eyes has a 6-inch IPS LCD panel without a notch, and it's sandwiched between two slim bezels, and it's an 18:9 aspect ratio, whereas the Huawei Mate 20 Lite has a 6.3-inch screen which has a notch which doesn't cut into the viewable area when you're watching YouTube or Netflix or anything like that. It's also an IPS LCD panel, and to my eyes the colors look better on the Mate 20 Lite, and the screen overall is a lot brighter. You can kind of feel the HTC U11 Eyes is using an older technology panel in its actual handset to save on costs, which is disappointing when you consider both handsets are very similarly priced. So I'm tossing this one up and giving the win to the Mate 20 Lite again. Sorry HTC fans, it's just the honest truth. It's just the honest truth. I mean, HTC, come on, a 652 and a lower quality LCD panel, not a good look. Look at what Huawei are coming up with this year, and with a much newer chipset, a Kirin 710, which is very efficient, works excellently. We'll talk about the cameras now. Now this is where they're both very similar in performance but very different in statistics or specs, if you like. The U11 Eyes has a 12 megapixel f1.7 aperture single camera on the back, whereas the Mate 20 Lite has a dual camera system on the back. One is a 20 megapixel f1.8 camera lens, and the other is a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Both give very good results, but the AI technology that's built into the Mate 20 Lite gives it that extra boost and extra advantage when it comes to photography all the way around. When it comes to colors in the grass, the sky, plants, any subject, it can detect if it's a cat you're taking a photograph of, a dog, food, whatever. It has that advantage over the HTC U11 Eyes. They both have HDR capability, but that AI, and we're talking, this is happening in the sort of like last 8 months, this AI technology that's really coming into it. And to have that in a flagship device like the Mate 20 Lite is a really good feature. And it's something I would miss if it wasn't there, genuinely. I find it really, really useful. I mean, in the shots I'm showing you, you can clearly see the color differences. And you can clearly see how both cameras handle lighting differently, how both cameras handle shadows differently, how, because the extra megapixel count is sharper on the Mate 20 Lite. So with the rear cameras, I've got to give the win again to the Mate 20 Lite. But the Mate 20 Lite also has a few other tricks up its sleeves, like it's got Q-emojis, which is very similar to, how can I put it? It's a 3D kind of image that comes up on the screen, which mimics the motion of your face, your head, your mouth, your eyes. It also mimics your voice. So it creates a 3D head on screen of you, but you could be a lizard, a tiger, whatever you want. And then you can share that on your social media because it makes little short GIFs, also short videos, and then it's just a fun little thing. Is it something I use often? No, because I'm a 43-year-old man, but my daughter loves using it. She loves it. She finds it hilarious. So it's nicer to have a feature like that than to not have a feature like that. It also has a lot more other AI tricks built into the camera, like the AI shopping experience, which is linked to Amazon in my case. You hold the camera, center a product up to the center of the screen of your actual device, let the camera scan it, it then does a search and pulls up images and products similar to that on Amazon, which is a nice added feature, especially again at this price point. We're talking sub £400 devices here. Certain flagships don't have these features. The U11 Eyes doesn't have that feature. So there's a win straight there again for the Mate 20 Lite. The Mate 20 Lite also, when it comes to video quality, has a better stabilization. It's very, very close, but it just has a little bit more stabilization. It also has the ability to produce cleaner, more natural colors in the video compared to the HTC, which I found surprising, but it actually does. Well, to my eyes, what I was filming was a lot cleaner and more accurate on the Mate 20 Lite. Take it however you will. The Mate 20 Lite cameras also have a lot of other features, which I can't go into in this video, it's just too much. I might do a separate video for it, but they have a lot of different features, a lot of different tricks that they can do. And they've got a lot of different modes as well. Now, talking about cameras, let's talk about the front-facing cameras. Now, this is where it's similar but very different. On the Mate 20 Lite, we've got dual cameras. We've got a 24 megapixel camera with a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On the U11 Eyes, we've got a 5 megapixel camera plus a second 5 megapixel camera. Both take very good bokeh shots. Both smooth out the skin, which is a personal preference for each individual person. Both offer great value for money when it comes to selfie cameras here. Now, the win for me has to go to the Mate 20 Lite yet again. I just think it does a better job overall. It gives you a more cleaner image. The bokeh effect looks a bit more contrasty, if that makes sense, compared to the background. Its hairline detection is better. It doesn't blur out the ears like the HTC U11 does, or U11 Eyes, should I say. So which one do you prefer camera wise from the samples I've shown you? For me, the Mate 20 Lite wins that one. Now it's time to move on. Let's talk about speakers. Both have got single bottom firing speakers. This one's straightforward and easy. The Mate 20 Lite wins it. The speaker does sound better. The U11 Eyes speaker sounds quite tinny, doesn't have any sort of depth to it. It's very quiet sounding. It's quite a disappointment when you consider HTC's legendary status when it comes to audio quality. I know it's a sub £400 device, but come on, a single speaker, you could have made it a bit better. So that's a win to the Mate 20 Lite. When it comes to the actual headphones, now this is a toss-up. HTC provides some nice U-Sonic headphones in the box, okay, but they don't supply a dongle because they're trying to cut on costs here. There's no headphone jack either, and a lot of people don't like living that hashtag dongle life. They don't like it. People prefer to have a headphone jack. Even though those U-Sonic headphones sound phenomenal, my issue with them is if you lose them, or if you're trying to use them while you can't charge the phone at the same time, that's a big thing for me, because my phones, I use them a lot. What the Mate 20 Lite brings to the party though, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, you've got Hissen sound settings, so you can change the settings and put what type of headphone you're using. Is it an over-ear headphone? Is it an in-ear headphone, etc. You also have a graphic equalizer. You also have some presets in there as well, which the U11 Eyes does not have. So it's a little bit of a toss-up there, but because of the versatility of the Mate 20 Lite, I have to side with it because I like my audio, as a lot of you already know. And having those extra features is a win for me. Again, sub £400. There's some flagships that don't offer you any customization or even a headphone jack, which are triple the price, and you know which phones I'm talking about. Let's talk about features now. Features is a big thing for a lot of people out there. Both phones have some features. I'd say the Mate 20 Lite has a few more features, but both have features the other one doesn't have. So for example, the U11 Eyes has got the edge sense, where you squeeze the side of your phone and it pops out with a cartwheel type thing where you can put different icons, different settings on there, completely customizable. It also has its own gesture features. The Mate 20 Lite has got its own set of features as well, such as flip to mute, lift to wake, 3-finger gestures, etc, etc. The list is too long to go into that as an individual things. So you'll probably be very satisfied with either device. Both have got rear fingerprint sensors. The U11 Eyes is quite a fast fingerprint sensor, but everyone knows Huawei's fingerprint sensors are one of the fastest on the market and some of the most accurate. So the slight edge goes to the Mate 20 Lite when it comes to features. Just a slight edge. There's really not that much in it, if I'm completely honest. Both have got face unlock, and both have got quite fast face unlock. The Mate 20 Lite is slightly faster, but you have to then swipe up on the screen to get into the device, whereas the U11 Eyes, you don't need to do that. It takes you straight in. But overall, speed wise, slight edge to the Mate 20 Lite. But also you've got to remember the chipset being used in the U11 Eyes is an older 652 Snapdragon processor, whereas this is the latest Kirin 710 chipset in the Mate 20 Lite. And you can feel the difference in overall performance. there's a lot of jittering, a lot of stuttering on the U11 Eyes when you're trying to go from menu to menu, when you're trying to go into your app drawer, and there's a pause when you're taking photographs and it's trying to save them, which the Mate 20 Lite doesn't have. And you can really see it's almost a night and day performance difference. And remember, they both have got 64 gigs of storage, both expandable memory, both have got 4 gigabytes of RAM. So those aren't issues there, it's the sheer chipsets that both are using. So let's sum up now. Which should you buy if it's your money? That's an easy one, the Mate 20 Lite. Reason I'm saying that is it's got a better, more modern screen, brighter. It's got better cameras, slightly better front-facing cameras. It's got a better overall user experience, especially when it comes to speed, fluidity, and so on. It's got more functionality in terms of features. So like, for example, like I was talking about the headphones, having all those options. That's a very, very nice touch right there. Battery life is better as well, because the Kirin 710 chipset is a lot better optimized and a lot more powerful than the U11 Eyes Snapdragon 652 chipset. Both are stunning devices, no arguments there. Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. From what I've talked about, what I've shown you, which one overall is the better device in your eyes? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all again real soon. Remember to smash that subscribe button. Smash it, smash it. You know what I'm talking about. Give me a thumbs up, share this video on all your social media. And if you haven't already checked it out, I did a Mate 20 Lite versus Nokia 6.1 comparison video yesterday. I'll leave a link for it here. It will be here, one of these boxes here. Check that out if you haven't already seen it. Check out my unboxing. I've got a lot more videos coming up about the Mate 20 Lite, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, peace.